was
Hey
the
guys.
first day back out there. Noticed no Austin or Mike. Not sure if there was any other key pieces. Have you talked with Austin about him not being here? I know he's missed it in years past.
Yeah, it was a good first day. It was great to be back with the guys. The guys have been working hard and kick off your football with the young guys and establishing how you practice and working on your technique, and just really proud of the guys being here. And this group has really come together nicely this offseason, and we're excited about getting going this springtime.
Big difference, Joey, here for day one of OTAs. You mentioned that a big part of it was just Khalil and feeling obligated to him. But he also said you got some messages from coaches. But just what do you think it says that Joey's here for the start of OTAs?
Yeah, I really appreciate all these guys being here because it's voluntary, and I think it says a lot about the culture that we have. And I think, your culture is your best players and the example that they set. And certainly, Khalil Mack sets a high standard, Derwin, and I think Joey's a part of that. And so for Joey to be here, I think it shows all these young players what it takes to be successful. Is you have to be here with your team to improve. And and we know that Joey's got such a specific routine with his brother in Florida. So for him to be here day one, really excited about that. And all the guys who were here, because that's how you improve. You improve as a team together.
Is there any update on contract extension for Justin Herbert?
No updates.
And with Austin Eckler, what's the current state of that situation, that relationship?
Yeah, the current state with Austin is he's one of the top backs, in the league over the last 2 seasons. He's been a captain for us. We really have the utmost respect for him, and this situation has been respectful on both sides, and looking forward to this spring, and we'll give you guys updates if there are any.
Do you anticipate, I know in the past he hasn't been here for this portion, but do you anticipate that he'll be here for mandatory minicamp?
Yeah, my expectation he would be here for sure.
We've not seen Mike Williams out here. Is he okay?
Yeah, Mike Williams has been here. Mike Williams has been here in the springtime, and he's been doing a really good job for us.
With Justin on the field last week throwing and then today, is he ahead of where you guys thought he would be?
No, I just think he's on track. He's on pace. He's been able to throw more and more, and he's on that throwing progression, and he's working himself for training camp.
A couple other injured guys that want to check in on. Josh Palmer, didn't see him out there today. Tito and then Jamari we saw.
Yeah, just anybody that's not out there is just we're trying to get these guys ready, to play for training camp in the regular season. So if they're not out there, there's probably something minor in nature. If there is something major, you'll know.
Will you guys be practicing with the Saints?
Yeah, we will practice with the Saints during training camp week 2.
Yeah. Like 2 days, like you've done?
Yeah, 2 days before the game. So I think it's a Sunday game. So I think we'll practice Thursday and Friday of that game of that week. It's been fantastic. I think Kellen's done a great job with the offensive staff. Him and Doug coming in here fit right in with our staff, with our culture. Been great with the players, and he's got such a great way about him with the group, both players and coaches. And it was good to finally get out on the grass. You prepare so hard for a practice like today and to kick it off. I thought it was clean operation, and again, you really rely on his experience that he's done this before, and he's just been great. For all of us to team up a new perspective, and really excited that he's part of our team.
Did you know him before this very well?
I knew of him. My first game as a defensive coordinator with the Rams was against him, and I think we grew closer throughout the years, knew some people in common, and then when we played them last year in the practices and training camp, I think is when we really started to develop more of like a personal relationship, stayed in touch throughout the season. And just I think we have so much in common, and I think when this opportunity presented itself, I think it was a natural fit for both of us. And I think just learning about how we see the game, it's a partnership that I'm really looking forward to.
You guys signed Nick Williams over the weekend. Where does he sort of fit into your defensive line?
Yeah, we had Nick in Chicago, and he did a great job for us on that team. And he was with Jay Rodgers both years, 18 and 19, when those defenses were really, really good. So he just gives us a lot of interior defensive line versatility. He's played any of the middle of the three, been on a lot of really good fronts. Last year he was with New York in the middle of Dexter and Leo. And so he's one of us, and he's going to make that group deeper going into training camp. Yeah, Bridget, Quentin's he's a simple guy. He's a hard worker. He's fit in well, and he showed all those intangible qualities that I think made him a captain at TCU. And he's learning a lot. There's a lot to learn, but he's done a really nice job out there fitting in with the group.
Do you see Keenan Allen on the masked singer
we showed the group that about 3 weeks ago. Whenever his swan song was on the show, but I was stunned at how good this guy was. I couldn't believe what I was hearing and that was actually him. And what an opportunity that he took advantage of. And now we just got to get him to sing the national anthem for the game. See if he's got what it takes in front of the whole world with a lot of pressure on him.
Brandon, 5-6 weeks in, how has the group responded to how the season ended last year and trying to use it as a driver and maybe not a mental block?
Yeah, I think you see it with the attendance that we have here today. This is a hungry group, and I think the whole offseason has been really business-like. There's been that right vibe where there's a lot of familiarity. You're not onboarding like a brand new team, bringing a lot of guys back, and so a lot of guys are invested from that game. And it's going to mean a lot more when you were at that game. And, for a lot of guys who have been with us now 2 years or with the team even longer than that, you're going to bring back a hungry group. And so, like I said, we're excited to take the field today and take, at full advantage of this springtime heading into training camp.
How would you assess how J.C. Jackson's doing in his rehab?
Yeah, Lindsay, I would say same as these other guys. He's progressing well, and we're trying to build him up to get ready for training camp.
Derwin's ability to play star for you guys, how does that change sort of how you guys are mapping out the secondary here?
Well, it's an advantage for sure, Daniel. I think that's one of the things he does best is play closer to the ball, and he can play star or money. And so that gives us a lot of flexibility in how we want to play because he's got a lot of those hybrid characteristics of a defensive back or a linebacker. And so, we feel like we've got a good group to coach at that position, but certainly having his ability to play there is a weapon for us.
Joey and Khalil, obviously we didn't get to see them together too much last season. What's your hope and expectation, and where do you think they are together at this point than they were a year ago?
Well, I think Joey said it to you guys. I think, number one, the relationship, they know each other so much better, and I think that's important, the respect they have one another. I've really enjoyed watching that grow from afar. That was certainly the hope when we traded for Khalil. But I think what we saw last year in training camp at the beginning of the year is that those two guys playing together are a special tandem. It's rare that you can find two players of that caliber that you can get together. And so our goal is for those two to get to play together. And we know how productive they are. They're both perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidates. They both can play at that level. And we expect them to play at that level. So, excited for those guys to have another crack at it this season. And, this spring, I'm looking forward to both of them being out there.